everybody doing? Great. So I was born and raised in the Bronx. Yeah. And I remember something that is really funny when I tell people today. Like when I was really, really small, I would walk down the street, and in the cracks of the street, I would see those little vials with the different colored tops. And I thought there was candy, and I wanted them. And then I found out later, I was like, oh, that was not something I wanted. But, so I have 2 songs that I wrote in tribute to the Bronx. This first one is like a song poem, and I'm just going to get into it. Double Dutch. Girls competed for the respect and fame. The best jumper produced the most tricks and gained Academy Award accolades. Innocent nights out enjoying summer's breeze. Parents took turn keeping kids out the streets, while others watched from windowsills, elbows on pillows. Elementary school friends wore my globe. Soko from Yugoslavia, Oneje from Kenya, Dina from India, Cynthia was Puerto Rican. Geography sat next to me every day. Collard greens, succotash, grits, black eyed peas. Curry gold, fish, roti, penny, plantains, mufungo, coquin, all on one floor. Hola, ¿cómo está? Wagwan, brethren. How you doing? Just another Saturday morning. Bodega's coffee so delicious, massages my son are proud to be from. Yeah. Let's talk about Bronx the Great. Let's talk about Bronx the Great. Let's talk about Bronx the Great, the Great, the Great, the Great. Let's talk about Bronx the Great. Let's talk about Bronx the Great. Let's talk about Bronx the Great, the Great, the Great, the Great. Origins of hip hop, Boogie Down Productions, Pop Lock and Breakin', my home. From the Concourse to Jerome, from Thoughts Next to Boston Road, from Parkchester to Morris Park, from Gun Hill to Castle Hill. The Bronx, respect the name.